Hi, my name is Liana Khalida Betty Ramlan. So today I'm going to present to you about what is UCP. UCP is a short form of the Uniform Custom and Practice for Documentary Credits. It is also known as UCPDC before. UCP is a set of rules developed by the International Chamber of Commerce or known as ICC for the issuance and uses of letter of credit. This UCP is a set of rules that need to be followed by bankers, traders, lawyers, transporter, and other person who deal with letter of credit transaction. This UCP also have been used by more than 175 countries. The objective of UCP is to create a set of contractual rules that would establish uniformity in documentary credit practice, obtaining global understanding. Next is the history of UCP. As you can see from the slide, there is 7 UCP that being introduced by ICC. The first version of UCP is known as UCP 82, which is revised on 1933. There are UCP has been revised for 6 times to keep pace with market needs and practice. As UCP is being introduced by ICC, the technique and method for handling letters of credit in international trade finance has been standardized. The latest revision was UCP 600 that being introduced on 2000. Before I explain more about UCP 600, I'm going to explain first about the transition from UCP 500 to UCP 600. UCP 500 is revised in 1993, came into operation on 1st January 1994. But after 13 years using UCP 500, this UCP has been changed to a new UCP, which is known as UCP 600. This is because UCP 500 proved inadequate in facilitating the operation of letter of credit, as there are some rules in UCP 500 are not compatible with the new process of international trade. In comparison to UCP 500, UCP 600 also has added a new terminology, concept, and wording introduced. There are also reorganization of the rules, and last but not least is improved clarity. This is because there are some rules in UCP are not complete, so UCP 600 have more explanation, have more details on the rules rather than UCP 500. Now, I'm going to present more about UCP 600. UCP 600 has been more than 3 years of work by the ICC Commission on Banking Technique and Practice. This UCP also have comprised of 39 articles. The main objective of UCP 600 is to provide easier language and addressing the progress in various industry. This UCP 600 is the most successful rule ever developed in relation to trade, and most letter of credit now are subject to them. Last but not least, this is the summary of the UCP 600. This is the key element which contained in the UCP 600 that explain the 39 article.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Atika binti Ibrahim. My matric number 267993. I will continue about some general practical consideration in UCP. UCP consists of 39 articles that are comprehensive and practical. The UCP used for the bankers, lawyers, exporter, importer, and everyone that is involved in letter credit transaction worldwide. The Article 1 is mentioned about the application of the UCP. The application of UCP in the Article 1, there is a rule that apply to any documentary credit, a letter of credit that specifically mentioned that is under UCP. For the Article 2, this is a mean. The Article 2 is a mean of the credit. The means of the credit in the Article 2 consists of cover basic terminology or processing for the flow of the financing. In Article 3, there is credits and versus contract. In Article 3, a credit is irrevocable even if does not specifically mention. Irrevocable mean it cannot be cancelled back without consideration. Cancelled without consideration of the party that is involved. The letter of credit signature can be in any form, uh, not only in handwriting. Uh, Letter of credit can be certificate, also can in any form. The banks is the bank are in no way concerned with or bound as a contract, even if any reference was whatsoever that a contract is included in the credit. For the Article 4, this is for mention about document versus goods or service or performance. In the credit operation, that all party concerned deal with the document and not with good service or other performance that related to the document. For the Article 5, that is mention about instruction to issue or to amendment the credit. The credit is separately in the form of the capital of form of the contract, means that the offer of the contract is a separate form. The bank can send the letter of credit with a document related to the goods. It means the instruction for the issuance of a credit, the credit is itself mean that instruction can amend the credit itself, whether the complete must be complete or precise. In order to ensure the completeness, include the excessive detail in the credit for any amendment, give the instruction to the issue, advise whether there are issue of the sum of the similar credit to accept or to unaccept the amendment. That's all from me. Thank you.
Wabarakatuh. My name is Abdullah Haimi bin Harun. My number is 263253. Alright, so I present the subtopic 5.4, which is the contract of sale. Alright, so do you know about the contract of sale? I can define it as an agreement between A and B. For example, Ahmad want to buy a car from Ali. The agreement begin when B agree to sell something to A at the set of price. For example, Ahmad sell the car to Ali with RM 26,000 ringgit. The transfer of ownership happen when A pay and B deliver the goods to A. But the contract change based on two conditions. First, seller not yet deliver the item that is sold. Second, buyer not pay full price of the purchases. Both parties can still transfer ownership as long as B deliver what is being sold. Then the contract is subject to resolution when A fail to make payment and the B can take back the item from A. Alright, so next, there are relationship of the party, which is first, no relationship. Second, no authority. No relationship, for example, there are no relationship between A and B in the contract. And then, no authority. A didn't have any authority to the goods that B owns. So, next, the condition or absolute payment. First, absolute sale, which is a sale in which property passed to a buyer upon completion of an agreement or bargain between the parties. The title is transferred by the seller to the buyer without any restriction other than payment of an agreed upon amount of money. Alright. Second, conditional of sale. A real estate transaction where the parties have set condition. The sale of good according to a contract contain condition. the ownership does not have passed to buyer until after a set time, usually in the contract, after payment of the installment of the purchase of price, although the buyer has possession and is conditioned to acquiring ownership of the goods. So that's all for me. We go to next presentation.
Hi, my name is Nurul Nazira binti Abdul Ghani and my metric number is 26755. Today I'm going to explain about time for issuance of credit and some basic principle. For time for issuance of credit, credit issuance is the process which importer guarantee to exporter that they will pay them in full once the condition of the contractual agreement between them are fulfilled. Commonly, the actual issuance of credit is made to and from third-party banks and trade financial, assisting the two transacting parties using a financial instrument known as a letter of credit. A letter of credit make sure both parties that contractual obligation will fulfill and payment made. As such, they are hugely important tools in international trade transaction. Next, for an importer to arrange credit issuance to an exporter through letter of credit, they will need first a confirmed contractual agreement with an exporter whereby the exporter will produce goods and transport them to the importer's jurisdiction according to agreed term and condition in exchange for an agreed payment. Next, an issuing bank supporting their operating which will issue the letter of credit and cover the value of the payment to the exporter should the importer fail to meet their payment. Last, a confirming bank supporting the exporter operation who will confirm the credit issuance has been received and extend the line of credit to the exporter to provide cash flow while they fulfill the contract. Next, credit issuance itself is the process by which issuing bank authorize the confirming bank to issue a confirmation to the benefiting exporter of the credit issuance that the issuing bank client will make payment to them. This confirmation guarantee the exporter that the importer will pay them on time and in full. In the event that the importer unable to make payment, the bank will cover the full of remaining value of the payment to guarantee that the exporter is not out of pocket, having invested time and money in producing and shipping the goods request in the contract. Next, we move to some basic principle how credit issuance works. First, an importer agree a contract with a supplier in international trade or legal jurisdiction to buy good or service from them. Second, a payment order is raised by the exporter confirming the contract. Third, the exporter approach a trade financier to operate as their issuing banks. Fourth, at the same time, the exporter will approach a financing agent to operate as their confirming bank. Fifth, the confirming bank will check those documents and then the exporter provide proof of shipment to their confirming bank using a bill of lading. 7. The importer pay the issuing bank the fund to be passed to the exporter and the issuing bank release the bill of a lading so the importer can claim the goods. Lastly, the issuing and confirming bank transfer the importer's money to the exporter and completing the transaction securely. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Khairi bin Ismail. My metric number is 263397. Okay, thank you, Nazira. I will continue my group presentation regarding to the form of documentary credit. So, what is the documentary credit? Documentary credit is a financial instrument issued by a bank or trade financial institution through a Swiss MT 700 message where exporter receive payment from importer once the term specific in the documentary credit are completely fulfilled. You want to know what is the Swiss stand for. Swiss acronym for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. While MT 700 mean used to indicate the term and condition of commercial documentary. Okay. Once the terms specific in the DC are fulfilled and the importer cannot pay, the exporter can make a compliant document presentation to demand payment. When the seller make a compliant presentation, the issuing bank or financial institution will make a payment to the exporter. So what can I conclude here? Issuing bank commit itself on behalf its customer, its client, which the exporter to pay to exporter within a fixed period. Okay. This is a mandatory field, which means that it must be stated in all of letter of credit issued via MT 700 Swiss format. Yes, mean all letter of credit must issue this format. Okay, we continue to the next slide. The code that used in documentary credit. Okay, the first one is irrevocable. Irrevocable is the type of documentary credit cannot be changed without agreement all parties. So the next is revocable. Revocable is the type of document can be changed or cancelled anytime by the importer without the approval or exporter. Okay, the irrevocable transferable is it's allow the beneficiary to transfer some or all of credit to the another party and can be what we call cannot be changed. Revocable transferable same like irrevocable, but it can be changed, revoked. Okay, irrevocable standby is the standby letter credit if irrevocable. That means it's a guarantee. Guarantee is the worst or the bad scenario happen and cannot be changed without agreement all party. Revocable standby is a standby letter credit and can be changed. Okay, irrevocable standby is the standby letter of credit cannot revoke, cannot change, and is transferable.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good days to all of my fellow classmates and fellow coursemates, especially to our beloved lecturer, Dr. Noriza Abdulaziz. My name is Muhammad Nur Rafiq bin Nurazan from Negeri Sembilan and right now in campus, and I will continue this presentation regarding chapter 5, practice of documentary credit, and I will explaining regarding 5.6, basic rules on document required. So if we can see point number 1, in order to receive payment, an exporter or shipper must present the document required by the LC which they receive it from the issuing bank. And second point, normally the letter of credit will request an original bill of lading, as the use of a title document such as bill of lading is critical to the functioning of the letter of credit itself. It may be physical or non-physical, and however, the list and form of document is open to negotiation and might contain the requirement to present documents issued by a natural third party evidencing advertising the quality of the goods shipped or their place of origin. So next slide is regarding some example of document required. So if we can see example number 1, which is the financial document, famous. The document required is bill of exchange or co-accepted draft. And second, commercial document. Commercial document usually replied by using invoice or packing list. And third one is shipping document. Shipping document such as bill of lading, ocean or multimodal or charter party, airway bill, lorry truck receipt, railway receipt, CMC, which is classified material conversion. In other words, CMC is some restricted item which has huge precaution and safety precaution above that item, that is called CMC. And other than made receipt is temporary receipt, forwarder cargo receipt, and this is the reply on the shipping document. And before last official document, example number 4, which is replied by using license, embassy legalization, origin certificate, inspection certificate. That's all. And last but not least, insurance documents such as insurance policy or certificate, but not a covenant. So that's all from me. That's all from our group. Hugely apologize on our mistake, and thank you for watching until end of our presentation. Thanks.